GMI's main mission and purpose is to train and equip leaders wherever they are. They may be community leaders, they may be political leaders, they may be church leaders, they may be organizational leaders, they may even be tribal chiefs. Whatever they can identify and we agree on as their needs, we will take that to them. They are the ones who take the responsibility of passing that training along to their own people. We can train them conflict management skills, counseling skills, communication skills, so they can do better what they are already doing well. We are not the organization that takes the food. We are not the organization that builds the houses. We are not the organization that gives the medical care. But we are the organization that can teach and train their own leaders how to do for their people what they badly need. Some group or organization or church would invite me and ask for a certain kind of training, and I would put the word out and sometimes do pretty heavy recruiting to find people with the skills that would match that need. And that's how we form our teams. We need people who are servant-hearted, who are ready and willing to give up 1 week or 2 weeks of their time, are willing to be trained, and pour their hearts out into leaders in other countries to teach them how they could get across what they wanted to say in the way the other person knew to receive it, rather than the way they knew to deliver it. That's mind-changing to them. We were in the north of Uganda, where many Sudanese people were fleeing their country and became refugees. Several large world organizations had also come into that area to provide food, housing, tents. What we were there to give was something no one else was giving. And that was where we had almost 200 people come and take our training. We taught on counseling skills, and we taught on stress management and crisis skills. I had been to their orphanage, and I had seen many of the children lying in their cribs without anyone to hold them. I shared our family story, that we had taken in orphans and children of special needs, and that some of our children had been just like these children, growing up the first several months of their life with no one holding them, not listening to a heartbeat, not feeling the warmth of another human being or hearing the words. And so I challenged that group. Why don't you go to these orphanages that you've got, that you're so proud of, and spend time holding a child at least 1 hour a day, cooing, singing, telling your tribal stories, no matter where that child came from. During testimony time, woman after woman would stand up and tears would roll down her face, and she would say, "I was struck to my heart about taking care of our country's children, and not just waiting for big money to come in from other countries to give the food and the shelter. I can give the emotional need." When I was growing up in Lebanon and saw so much poverty and saw the orphans and the beggar children, I used to tell my parents, one day I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to take them in. I did, to some small extent, by adopting 7 children. But that is only a drop in the bucket. So when I can go to other countries now who have these atrocities daily and whose children are being orphaned daily by AIDS, by hunger, by war, and when I know that I can teach and train and encourage and goad and urge in any way possible their own countrymen to help take care of them, then I feel the affirmation. Many of these men may only be in their 30s, but they are responsible for up to 20 churches and many villages. They are overwhelmed. They are burned out. When we come and give them the encouragement, the resources, just to see their faces and to hear the gratitude from their own lips is worth every bit, every sacrifice, every penny that we spend on them. Global Mosaic International is a nonprofit organization. 100% of the funding comes from donors. When a volunteer signs on to be a team member, he or she needs donors to help fund his or her expenses. Since GMI has to pay all of the expenses in some of the countries for participants to be able to come, their room and board, the conference rooms, sometimes their transportation, we need donors who would support us just for conferences. If they can sponsor one of those leaders, they are also sponsoring villages. They are also sponsoring several churches with their sponsorship of one leader. In every country that I have gone and taken training with GMI teams, we have people coming up to us at the end of our training and telling us that what we brought, they didn't even know that information existed. And that was exactly what answered a certain question, a certain obstacle. But in order to keep accomplishing those goals, which is going out into new countries, taking more teams, giving more training, affecting change wherever we go, we do need more people, and we do need more resources. We need people who are servant-hearted, who are ready and willing to give up 1 week or 2 weeks of their time, are willing to be trained, and pour their hearts out into leaders in other countries. My heart's cry is for more people to come and join us and do that with us.